Hey, just a quick message from Doom here, just to let you know that I'm actually planning to take some time to record an individual video about all the separate pieces of my recording kit. So, if you have questions, feel free to ask them here, and I will answer them. But I'm also planning on doing more in-depth videos for each segment of the recording kit. Enjoy.
Hello, welcome back. It's more of me talking. This time I'm going to do what I said to a couple of people, and I'm actually going to show my recording setup, how I record, and how you can either upload things to YouTube or stream them on Twitch and whatever. And just before I do that, I thought I'd go through all the various different components of what makes up a recording kit and show you what I have to do it, and give some examples and things like that. And then I'm going to show a fully set up recording kit the way that I do it at the moment. So to start, we're going to look at these three objects here. This is a Hotbaj HD PVR2. That's my current recording device. It does HDMI. There's a HDMI plugged in there. It's this little silver cable. That's the Hotbaj HD PVR1, which uses component. This cable here. You'll see that a lot. That's called component. You'll hear HDMI and component a lot when you're dealing with these kind of things because it's the two standard ways of recording HD footage. This thing here is a Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle. It's a very contrary little device. It works with loads of things, which is very good. It does components, it does HDMI, it also does some standard definition, it's named RCA as well. Composite. The problem with that is it works over USB 3, so it doesn't work with too many computers. I specifically had to buy my Dell to work with this, and I don't use it anymore because I got the Hotbaj 2. So they're the three recording devices I've used over the last few years. Moving over to the left here, we have my different microphones. So these are the microphones that we used to use a lot with our commentators. Anyone who's commentated on one of my videos will know these things. These are just cheap 30, 40 euro microphones that you can find in any music shop anywhere or online. Thomann.de is where most people in Europe order from. To be honest, they're very, very cheap microphones. They're not very good, but there's no point in buying expensive ones because YouTube mashes the sound up so much that you're not going to hear much quality. These are my headsets that I listen to the recording through. I love these earphones. They're very, very good. And this, I only have one here, but I have another on order, is my new baby. This is a proper sportscaster headset that you'll see on the likes of Spooky Stream, and it's all mashed up. So these are actually ridiculously expensive because of the connectors to use with a proper mixing desk. So I think we'll move back here. Here we have my splitters. That's a 4-way HDMI splitter, and that's very, very important because what that does is it allows me to split off one signal directly to the monitor that the players will be using in order to make sure that there's as little lag as possible. So if you're going to be recording live tournaments, you need one of them. It's a very important object. This is a component splitter. You can see all the connectors for component there. That also doubles as an audio splitter, which is very, very handy because what it means is I can plug this cable in here and it gives me an audio out that people can plug in their earphones to. Very, very handy, so people can use their own headphones when they're playing, or when I get sponsored by Razer, they can use mine. Here we have our webcams. I have two at the moment. They're both HD webcams, however this is the only one that can shoot in widescreen. It's a 25 quid Microsoft one. I'll include a link for it because it's really, really good value for what it does, because it shoots at 30 frames per second, 720p. It's very high quality for a little webcam. This one is also HD, but it shoots in 4:3, so it's not quite as good. You'll sometimes see me using that on the commentators, but I always use this one on the players because it's good. Back here, we have my mixing desk. This is a Trojan Warhorse. I've used this as long as I'm recording. What it does is this allows me to manage the volumes of the commentators and sometimes the volume of the game, depending on how it's set up. So I've used this a lot. I'm very, very familiar with it. Anyone else who's commentated will also be familiar with it. So the sound from the commentators, the sound from the game goes into this, and it goes out to my recording computer. And I think finally over here we have various different converters that I've used over the years. I think I'll include this little Sewell here as well. This strips HDMI of HDCP encryption. And that's a very complicated way of saying it makes the PS3 work. So you don't need one of these if you're recording Xbox. You absolutely need one of these if you're recording a PS3 in HDMI. This converts HDMI to component, there's the 5 buttons, or VGA, which is another HD standard, analog standard. This is the other way around. This is a component to HDMI. This one is a component to HDMI, but it's also a scaler. It can change from 60 frames to 30 frames per second, things like that. It's very handy. And these two here are components to VGA. So there's your component on the back there. There's your VGA in the front there. So all of these just at different times. There's been monitors that I need to use, or TVs that I need to use, or projectors. Usually not the main monitors that the players are using, because if I used any of these, except for the Sewell, occasionally on that, it would induce quite a bit of lag, so I don't like doing it. And finally over here we have my Dell, my laptop, that does all the recording work, and of course a console. You need that too.